I wrote Satisfaction in my sleep. I had no idea I'd written it. It's only thank God for the little Philips cassette player. I knew I'd put a brand new tape in the previous night and I saw it was the end. When Keith Richards woke up, he rewound the tape and he found a really sleepy rendition of the legendary guitar riff and the lyric that would become the title of the song. No satisfaction. Followed by 45 minutes of snoring. If this is how the greats write songs, then how do we mere mortals expect to be able to do it as well? I mean, this is a great story, but the fact that he wrote this in his sleep adds an element of magic and mystique to the songwriting process. But the song wasn't fully formed. It was just a rough idea. There was the bare bones of the song. But the bare bones is all you need. He came up with the idea for the song in his sleep. And yes, it was a great idea, and it's probably a better idea than most of us would have had. But we do all come up with ideas. We all have ideas. Maybe we can come up with songs in our sleep too. Satisfaction was fully written and recorded shortly afterwards, and it became one of the Rolling Stones' most successful songs. The song was the Rolling Stones' first #1 hit in the US. It was number 31 in the 2021 Rolling Stone magazine's all-time greatest song list. It has become one of the world's most popular songs. And there are a lot of variables that determine how successful and how popular something will be. And one thing that I feel will have contributed to this song's success is the fact that Satisfaction is an incredibly catchy song. Catchiness is how easy it is for a song, a tune, a phrase to be recalled. Now, scientifically, we don't really know how to explain what exactly makes something catchy. There are a lot of similar techniques used throughout catchy music, like repetition, hooks, alliteration, and although there is no definitive answer as to what makes a song catchy, all the songwriting guides agree that simplicity and familiarity are vital. And this song has these two requirements: the lyric and the riff are very simple, and there is a lot of repetition which makes it stick in the mind. There is a problem that I face, I see a lot in music students, and I hear other musicians talk about this too. And the problem is that our minds seem to be hardwired to make things more complicated and more complex than they need to be. We just have this tendency to overcomplicate things. Now, we know that to make something catchy, it does help to make things that are more familiar and simpler. Now, there's a phrase associated with an aircraft engineer called Kelly Johnson, which was popularised in the 1970s, but variations of this phrase do go back to at least 1938. The phrase is, "Keep it simple, stupid." This KISS principle states that most systems work best if they are kept simple instead of being made too complex. Salvador Dali and Thomas Edison would use strange techniques to inspire their creativity. Instead of lying in bed, they would try to fall asleep while sitting in a chair. And as they were drifting off, they would make sure that they were holding an object. And then as soon as they did fall asleep, the object would fall, it would make a noise, and it would wake them up. So after spending just a few moments asleep, they would wake in a more creative state of mind, and they would use this state of mind to try and come up with ideas. This could have been their own way of telling themselves to keep it simple, stupid. Delphine Wedette, a cognitive neuroscientist studying dreams, memory and creativity at the National Institute of Health and Medical Research in Paris, has been doing research into this early stage of sleep known as N1 sleep and the link between this sleep state and creativity. Wedette believes that this state of sleep can lead to creative insights. It's a good balance because it's halfway between being awake and unconscious. We can go exploring, but at the same time, potentially identify patterns that could be useful for us. What Keith Richards came up with in his sleep is essentially a blues riff, and an incredibly simple one at that.
I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get me no satisfaction, babe, 'cause I try.
The lyric is equally as simple. I mean, the idea came to him, you could say it in its purest form. He didn't mess with it, he didn't try to refine it, he didn't try to make it more complicated. He just went straight back to sleep. You could make an argument that his sleepy state made him keep it simple stupid. Even when he woke up, he didn't do anything else with the idea. All he did was take the idea to the rest of the guys and he showed it to them as if it was a joke. But they were the ones who saw that this idea had real potential. In his book, Richard says that he would come up with the song or the idea and Mick Jagger would do all of the hard work filling it in. So Keith Richards came up with this idea in his sleep. His work was done. He didn't even recall doing it. We probably can't take our ideas to Mick Jagger to do all of the hard work filling them in. But what we can do is learn, practice and build our skill sets so we can do all of the hard work filling it in when our ideas come to us. I think most of us, if not all of us, know the feeling of having an idea or something come to us.
I've had an idea.
And then later on, only remembering the fact that we actually had an idea, but for the life of us, we just can't remember. We can't recall what the idea actually was.
I can't remember what the idea was.
Every experienced creative person will tell you that you never know when an idea is going to hit you. Satisfaction was on the Rolling Stones' 4th album. Keith Richards was an experienced songwriter at this point. He will have known the importance of being ready for when ideas come. You never know, maybe he decided to keep a pen and paper with him at all times.
Maybe Keith Richards would have gotten himself a little Philips cassette recorder.
Because my favourite ideas tend to come to me when I'm feeling quite relaxed, often when I'm out walking the dog.
I always make notes and take voice memos and make little video messages for myself when I have ideas on my phone, like this one I had for this video here. Video idea in the pissing down rain. Do you remember the old story of Keith Richards writing Satisfaction in his sleep? I'm thinking there might be something worth exploring there. Right.
You might write your next song or come up with your next great idea in your sleep. And it's gonna be a great story. It will probably just be a rough idea, the bare bones of a song, but the bare bones is all you need. It might be something that is stupidly simple.
We all have ideas.
And when you have your next idea, will you be ready for it? So when you come up with something and you have a good idea, explore that idea. The problem that we sometimes have is we learn more and more stuff, but we don't actually use it. And if this is a problem that you think you might have, you might find this video interesting to watch next. Thanks guys, see you later.